everyone, it's Jordan here from JJ Media House. I just wanted to finally bring you my review on the PS4 and like my experiences about it. I'm gonna be quick, try to be, and be thorough at the same time and let you know how I feel about it. But let's get started. Please enjoy. So let's start with the outside of the PS4. In my opinion, there's never been a sexier console in the design. It's perfect, almost. You have your standard two USBs in the front as well as a touch power and eject button. On the back you have an HDMI, an optical, an Ethernet cable, and well, that's about it. There's a LED light almost in the center of the PS4, almost in the center. It changes colors depending on what your PS4 is doing. The one thing that I don't like about the design is the glossy side. It gets dirty really fast and also scratches easy. I don't like it that much. Like, glossy always looks really nice at first, but then it just starts collecting dust, and it's more like, I don't know, you're always just taking care of it. As far as the inside of the PS4 goes, we're looking at a single chip processor, low power x86 and 64 AMD Jaguar processor, 8 cores and 1.84 teraflops AMD Radeon graphics core, and there's 8 gigabytes of DDR5 RAM. I've made another video on how I feel about the hardware. If you're curious about that, then please do go and watch it. I will have a link for it down in the description. The remotes are 100% better than the PS3s. I did not enjoy the PS3 remote at all. The analogs aren't as loose, they're a bit tighter. They feel great, they're really good for shooters. My gaming performance has improved so much since I've been using a PS4 remote. The triggers are a lot better as well. They feel like actual triggers. They fit in your finger fits on them a lot better. Yet again, really good for shooters. The remote just feels nice in the hand. On the handles of the remote, it gets rounded and larger, so it's a lot more comfortable for me. I have really big hands. It's almost like a perfect mix of the PS3 and the PS3 and the Xbox 360 remote. There's a touchpad now. I haven't really found much use for it so far, other than, like, you know, going around the map on Assassin's Creed. That's about it. I haven't. Oh, and then there's like the kill zone stuff, and then in Infamous Second Son, you like, I don't know, like you swipe certain things. It's weird. There isn't really much use for it right now, not that I'm aware of anyway. Maybe it can be utilized a lot better in the future. But let's give me. Oh, and the touchpad is also a button. So there's a button there. It's not just a touchpad. And instead of there being numbers on the remote to indicate what player you are, the LED bar that lights up. There's an LED bar that lights up a certain color now. Sorry, I'm stumbling on my words. First player is blue. Second player is red. Third player is green. And fourth player is pink. Personally, I like all of them, but my least favorite would actually have to be pink. I don't dislike the color a lot. It just, I don't know. I would have actually preferred purple, but that's just me. Depending on what you play, the light bar will behave certain ways as well, depending on the game. When you play Sound Shapes, which is a musical game, I think I have a gameplay video of it up. I'm actually sure I do. It's a really great game. The controller blinks different colors depending on what like the background color of Sound Shapes is. And when you get hurt in Sound Shapes and in other games as well, typically almost any game, when you get really hurt, close to dying, or are dying, the LED light turns red, or it starts to flash red, or something to do with red, because that's the color of death, I suppose. Typically in game, yeah, so that's about it. Typically it goes red. When you play Outlast, which is a really awesome game, it's really fun, you use your night vision on your camera to see in really dark areas. Now when you turn on your night vision, the LED light turns green. It, you know, to indicate night vision. It's really cool. In my opinion, it adds to the experience. I really enjoy it. And I find it great that because of the design of the PS4 remote, the LED light doesn't really bother you. Like, it's bright, but you don't even really notice it. Like, it doesn't get in your way. It's not annoying. You really gotta, like, look at it to notice it, really. So that's cool. Now for the experience when you're on the console itself. I've played Injustice: Gods Among Us, Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes, Battlefield 4, Infamous Second Son, Assassin's Creed 4, Knack, Call of Duty, Ghost, Outlast, Mercenary Kings, Blacklight Retribution, Warframe, and Resogun, and I believe that's about it so far. All these games play at 1080p with 60 frames and feel really good. I mean, I've played PC before, like on a really high-end PC. I've run games above 60 frames at certain points, but this still feels pretty damn good. It feels really amazing, actually. And even the visuals on the games are really good. You know, like I have to say right now, there's a huge gap between the PS3 and PS4. Obviously, there should be. It's next gen. Even with Call of Duty Ghosts, which happens to not look that great sometimes, as a Call of Duty series, in my opinion, they don't look that great. It looks really good, impressive in my opinion. The visuals are really good. But so far, the best looking games are Metal Gear Solid 5, Ground Zeroes.
Those tranquilizer rounds are only good for putting your target to sleep. They won't help you break anything. If you ready your weapon while crawling, you can move horizontally left or right. If you do that holding the dash button,
Infamous Second Son, and Battlefield 4. There are some weird hiccups, however, that I have noticed in the cinematics of Injustice. It's actually very, very often. The frames love to drop below 30 and make it look choppy whenever you're like I said, in a cinematic. It's really confusing. And then the gameplay is 60 frames. It's weird. Call of Duty Ghost has frame rate issues as well, but only when I play multiplayer. I've never noticed it in the campaign or in Extinction. Yeah, it's normally in the multiplayer. At the beginning of a multiplayer round, the frames like to be weird, like below 30 for like 2 to 3 seconds, and then it goes right back up to 60 once you really start going. It's weird. I've always wanted to. People have tried telling me it's been lag before, but I know it's not. I've played with lag. I've played with bad internet. I know the difference between low frames and lag. The best game I have played so far, though, is definitely Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes. I mean, the gameplay on that game is extremely solid. It's really fun. It looks beautiful. Yet again, though, it's Ground Zeroes. It's not the Phantom Pain, and for you who don't understand that, Ground Zeroes is a prequel. It's only $30. And this game can last you more than probably 15 hours, but it really depends on what kind of player you are. There's thousands of things to find. There's multiple ways to play the game. It's a small open world. You can get multiple, like 5 to 6 missions, which doesn't sound like a lot, but you can execute them all each way differently every time. It's really fun. It's a great game. I loved it. And I'd recommend it to anybody. And if you plan on playing the next Metal Gear Solid, you definitely need to play this one just for story. Okay, so now onto the features. I have to say there are a lot of cool ones. You can record gameplay and upload it to Facebook, Twitter, yeah, or screenshots as well. You can stream your gameplay to Twitch or Ustream. If you have a PS4 camera, you can stream yourself and the gameplay at the same time. People can talk to you, they can ask you questions, you can see it. You have the choice to see their comments or just the gameplay or whatever. It's really cool. I, however, have not done this because the PS4 camera is $70 brand new, which I'm not buying anytime soon until they lower the price, and I don't buy used products, so they're gonna have to lower the price of a brand new product for me to get it. And I mean, it's not like people are just playing games with them, I guess. There's plenty of other people doing it out there. And people have been using it for some weird things anyway. I've been reading news lately because I like to hear what's going on with my gaming world. And apparently there's been people using Twitch and Ustream and the Playroom, which is a little camera thingy with the PS4, to make live porn. So, I mean, people are already misusing it. I'm not really too surprised, no one really should be. I like how you can download 2 to 3 games at the same time and still be playing a game or on Netflix or web browsing or whatever, and the games will continue to download. When you digitally buy a game, you have a choice to download the multiplayer or single player first. When the first part gets done, you can play it, and while you're playing it, the other half of the game will still download. That's a really cool feature. I love that. Something else I really do like is if you have a smartphone, an Android, an iPhone, or whatever, you can download the PlayStation app and link it to your PS4. If you do this, you'll get your messages, yada yada yada, all that cool like social stuff. But what I really like about it is if you buy a game on your phone and your PS4 is on standby or just on, and you're anywhere out and about in the city, at a coffee shop, your girlfriend's school, I don't know, and you purchase a game on your phone and your PS4 is on, it will then start to download on your PS4 and be ready for you to play when you get home, depending on how long you take and how big the game is. The transition and multitasking, even when you're playing a game and you go to the main menu to message or whatever, is really fast and smooth. That's a good plus. And the last thing I really appreciate is the Vita Play, which is like, it's called second screen or something like that. I can use my Vita to play my PS4. So say I'm tired and want to lay down, I can keep playing, or, well, any other reason that would require you to leave your screen, you can continue playing without stopping the game. You can just keep going, and it works. It works great. It works really good. I also feel that it's important to mention that even when you're using your Vita to play your PS4, another person or even people can still use the other remotes to play with you. For example, I was getting my ass handed to me in Injustice by my girlfriend. Her mom wanted to use the TV, so we moved to my Vita. I used the Vita to continue playing, and she used the PS4 remote to continuously beat me. And, well, I find these little things really cool. A lot of people don't have a Vita, but I enjoy this. It's very useful if you live in a house with family or whatever. So overall, I love everything about the PS4. I'm gonna have to say that my biggest issues with it is the glossy design. I can't stand how fast it gets dirty. I'm really, I don't want to say OCD, I'm not like a super clean person, but when it comes to my technology, I care if it's dirty, scratched, or messed up. And that glossiness is a problem, but it's not that big of a deal. It still manages to look good. I've only had mine for a couple days, and it gets dirty, has a couple scratches, but it's not super noticeable until you pull it into certain lighting. The hardware is not as good as it should be, in my opinion. I don't think it's gonna last very long, but it's gonna last long enough, and it will perform very well in the future as well. And the last thing that really bothers me is that I have no friends that really have the PS4. I have friends, just not the ones that have a PS4 right now, so typically I'm always playing by myself, which is more of a personal problem. It's not necessarily a problem with the PS4, that's just me. None of my friends have it. So to be honest, the PS4 is great. I love it. I'm really happy I bought it, and at the price range of the price range of PS4. The PS4 price range is $400, which isn't that high if you think about it. I mean, the PS3 was like, what, 800? I don't remember. When it came out, it was a lot. So I'd recommend a system for $400 that will play really high games at 1080p for 60 frames. I mean, in my opinion, that's a steal. That's really good. And, well, that's all I really have to say. So thank you for joining me and listening. This is my review for the PS4, and if you'd like to see more, please do subscribe. This is Jordan from JJ Media House, and see you later.